please hit that subscribe button.
Hey everybody.
Better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody. So today I want to talk about Patrik Laine of the Winnipeg Jets, because Laine is a player that I have kind of been keeping tabs on all season long this year for a number of different reasons, mostly because it's no secret that last year he did not have a very good season overall. He scored 30 goals, but he was minus 24 on the year. Most of his season most of his goals came early in the season, and he was really not that great for Winnipeg down the stretch. And there were a lot of eyes on Laine this past offseason when he had to get a contract done with Winnipeg, and now obviously people paying close attention to him this season. And Laine has just been lighting it up as of recent. He's got 6 goals in his last 5 games, and I think someone said last night he has 9 goals in his last 9 games, so as you stretch it out further, still a goal per game here recently. Laine has looked really, really good for the Winnipeg Jets. Really, I think this whole season he's played well, and certainly here as of recent. If we look at the last 5 games, he scored 1 goal against St. Louis on February 1st, scoreless against Nashville on the 4th, but then another goal against St. Louis on February 6th. Then he scored a hat trick against the Ottawa Senators on February 8th, and last night he scored another goal against Chicago, giving him 6 goals in his last 5 games, which is absolutely outstanding for Patrik Laine. Brings his season goal total to 24 this year, so he's not necessarily lighting it up goal-scoring wise this season, and we've talked about this on this channel earlier in the year, where he's not lighting it up goal-scoring wise. He's got 24 this year, definitely not going to reach the 44 that he did in his second NHL season, but you know, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say something that I definitely don't, maybe everyone won't agree with me on, but I think this season has been Patrik Laine's best all-around season in the NHL. This has been his best NHL season so far in his career. And no, the goals, he may not be scoring goals at the ridiculous rate that he was, that he did in his second season when he had 44. But he is so much better of an all-around player now than he was 2 years ago, and certainly that he was last season. Better defensively, better in the neutral zone, better passing the puck. He's got a career high in assists already this year with 29. He's got 53 points in 55 games, close to a point per game. I think he'll probably go over the 70 points that is his current career high from his second year when he scored 44 goals. I think he's going to surpass 70 points. He's probably going to finish the year with around 33 to 35 goals, somewhere around there. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to go over 40. Again, he would need another 16 goals this season to score 40. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think he finishes in the mid-30s. But still, I think he points-wise, I think he goes higher than 70. I think, he already has a career high in assists with 29. This has been his best all-around season. He's also a plus player. We're at plus 11 this year. He's no longer just a pure goal scorer. And that's, we saw this with Alex Ovechkin, where Alex Ovechkin had some seasons where he had massive goal-scoring numbers, but he was a heavily A-minus player. He was just, all about scoring goals, but he wasn't a complete all-around player. And then we saw Barry Trotz come in, and Ovechkin really get his all-around game up. Patrik Laine this season is getting his all-around game into form. I think before this season, he was largely just a goal scorer. He was there to rip shots, score goals, and especially on the power play, and just, try to be a huge goal scorer and a sniper for the Winnipeg Jets. But this year, I think he's become such a better, complete, all-around hockey player. He's playing better defensively. He's playing better in the neutral zone. He's passing the puck more. And yeah, his goal total is down. It may not be what it was when he was scoring 40-plus goals, but he's getting more assists, more points, better play defensively. He's a plus player now. Currently, if he finishes the year at what his plus-minus is at or better, at plus 11 right now, it will be his best plus-minus season in his NHL career. I will sacrifice a few goals. If he scores 34 goals this season instead of 44, but he's a better all-around player, I will take that if I'm the Winnipeg Jets. I want that if I'm the Winnipeg Jets. He doesn't have to go out and score 50 goals. He has to go out and be a positive player, a good team player, and contribute to this team in any way that he can, whether he's scoring or not, and he's doing that this season. And let's not forget here, Patrik Laine is only 21 years old. He's only 21. Yes, this is his 4th season in the league, but he's only 21. He's still developing. He's still learning. He's still improving and getting better. This is a guy, maybe right now, for his all-around game to come into form, he has to cut down to mid-30s in goals rather than mid-40s. But that doesn't mean that in the future, as he comes into his prime, as he heads towards 24, 25, 26 years old, maybe in the future, he'll bring this great, all-around play that we've seen this year and get the goal scoring up to 40, maybe even up to 50. And then if he does that, Laine could be one of the best players in the entire NHL, not just as a goal scorer, but as a player. We could see him maybe at 110, 120 points. Maybe he scores 50 goals and has 50 assists, or 50 plus goals and 50 plus assists. Maybe he starts putting up Nikita Kucherov type numbers where Kucherov has 40 something goals in a season but another 60 or 70 assists. We could see Patrik Laine turn into an all-around elite NHL player, not just elite goal scorer, but elite NHL player. And I think he's taking steps towards that this season. The goal scoring is obviously still there. He's shown that this past week, where he's literally got 6 goals in his last 5 games. He's over a goal a game in his last 5 games. But he's such a better passer. He's such a better defensive player. He's such a better team player this season than he has been at any point in his career up to this point. And to be honest with you, I really, really like what I'm seeing from Patrik Laine this year. I think this is by far his best overall season, and he's not just strictly a goal scorer anymore. He can do other things on the ice. He can contribute in other ways, and that is going to be huge for him going forward as he progresses in his career. And I really think, if this development continues and he plays well defensively, he picks up assists. He has more assists than goals this season for the first time in his career. This will be the first time in his career that he'll have more assists than goals on the season. That's a huge step forward in my mind. I really, really like what I see from him, and if he can continue that and continue to develop this way, I think that he absolutely can be one of the elite players in the NHL, and he's still got plenty of time to develop. You look at these young players that come into the league, and, Connor McDavid's kind of an exception, but Connor McDavid is the exception. He is the generational talent, the next Sidney Crosby superstar. McDavid came in and was just a massive superstar from the start. But if you look at other players like, Jack Eichel, who now is having a career year this season, it took him till he was 23, 24 years old to really get to that. Laine is only 21. Other players as well, you see them come into the league as stars, very high draft picks, have really good seasons, but they don't become complete all-around players until they're 23, 24 years old, and then they really start to break out. Nathan MacKinnon was the same way. Nathan MacKinnon was a very, very good player when he came into the league, but we didn't see him become an elite dominant player until he was really 23, 24 years old. That's when he really broke out and became the player that we know he is today, and quite honestly, the MVP candidate that he is today. Patrik Laine is still only 21. How good can he be when he gets to 23, when he gets to 24, 25 years old? I really think he could be a 100-point player with this development as being more than just a goal scorer, more than just a guy who rips power play goals in. He's now an all-around hockey player, and that is so good for the Winnipeg Jets, so good for Patrik Laine. I really think he can become one of the elite players in the game, and not just as a goal scorer, but somebody who maybe scores 40 goals but also has 60 assists. That would push Patrik Laine to being near the top of the league as far as players go. And I think he has the potential to do it because he's showing such a better all-around game this season than he ever has before. And again, I think this is Laine's best season ever in the NHL, and I hope it continues. I hope he continues to develop his all-around game, and he's just playing really, really, really well this year for Winnipeg, even though you look at the goal total at 24 and think that's not that great for a goal scorer like Laine. Everything else is so much better this season. I really, really think that this is a huge step in the right direction and progress for Patrik Laine after the season that he had last year. And I think he's going to go over 30 goals this season, probably finish in the mid-30s. But points-wise, I think he pushes towards 80 points this season, and will continue to be an impact player for the Winnipeg Jets. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys soon.